I'm Musab Abid. I'm actually a qualified CA and I used to work with KKT. And then obviously I left that and I joined SportsKeeda at the end. When I say that to people, the first reaction is obviously, why would I leave a secure, high-paying job to go to a place where there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt? I'd like to say to those people that I'm following a dream. It is a totally dramatic story that I've left everything and gone to a place where I was not sure of succeeding, but I just wanted to follow my passion. But actually, sports journalism is not that uncertain. It's not that I'm going to a place where there is a lot of doubt and there's no chance of success. If you look at the trends in recent times, sports journalism has picked up so much that today, even though there's not the market hasn't been tapped yet, but the interest level among the people is so high that we just need a push. We just need to give them something that will turn their interest into a phenomenon the way cricket is in it. When I actually, before I joined SportsKeeda, I was told that on the site, football actually has the biggest market, biggest readership. And if you see on the site, our football section is very extensive. It's got events from EPL to La Liga to Bundesliga to Serie A. On the contrary, in cricket, there's not that much as in there aren't too many sections in that. Which obviously was surprising to me. I always assumed that cricket was the biggest, there was nothing that could compare to cricket in India. But obviously, as I've realized now, that among the educated populace in the country, among the students, football is definitely one of the biggest drivers right now. There are people who are so passionately interested in EPL, in players like Messi and Ronaldo, that there are actually full-fledged debates about a single, just published an article saying Messi scored 2 goals. There are people who say that what about Ronaldo who scored 2 more goals in the match? He's better, his goals are better than them. And there are passionate people who are arguing for hours over this. So it is clear that football has such a huge untapped market in India. So and obviously from there, like if people get news and information about the football clubs that they're following, the players that they're following, from there they will want to emulate these people because they are the idols now. It's not really Sachin Tendulkar who is a inspiration for people. It's also Lionel Messi, it's also Cristiano Ronaldo. So when people look at them, they look at their skills, they want to become something like that themselves. And that's where the growth of any sport starts. That people want to be something like what they see on TV or on the ground. So in that respect, I believe this has a great potential to increase the following of sports other than cricket in India. Obviously there's also cricket on the side and the T20 World Cup, for instance, there was a lot of readership for the article that published on the T20 World Cup. But the thing is, cricket already has an existence. It has wide mass hysteria in cricket in the country, if you can say that. So if we consider the other sports and try and bring them up, like for instance in tennis, we've got sections for each of the Grand Slams. Then we've got the Masters series. Then in basketball, although there's not much popularity of Indian basketball right now, but NBA definitely has a strong market in India. Hockey, there are events like WSH that are coming up. F1, there are passionate fans of Fernando Alonso in the country, which I was surprised to see myself. But these are the people who actually want information about these players, and they weren't being given all this information in the past. So that's where I believe we should try to make a difference at PCC SportsKeeda. There was also the Olympics, obviously. It will come as a surprise to many of you, but the commentary that we had for the Olympics, the live commentary where we concentrated on all the Indian athletes, people actually came and told us that this is the only place in the entire, on the internet where we're actually getting live updates about Indian athletes. Because there's no concentrated area anywhere else where you would get so much information about each and every event that's happening. Gagan participating in the shooting or the wrestlers. So we had live updates about it. We obviously were watching it on TV, and there were other people who could watch it as well. But for people who are in offices, who are not, who don't have access to the internet or to TV, they would be really interested in the updates about how the Indians are performing. And that's where we really help them get a lot of information. So these are the areas where I think we can definitely help the development of sports. One of the biggest appeals of SportsKeeda, as we have been told, is the fact that anyone can write over here. All you need to do is log in, and create an account for yourself, and you can submit an article. If it's good enough, it will be published. Now, there are a few critics of this approach. A lot of people say that the kind of articles, some of the articles that we publish are, they don't give an objective opinion about things. But there are two ways to look at it. For one thing, we do have a separate section called fan view for articles that are not very objective. But then again, we feel that everyone has a voice. Everyone wants to convey that voice. So we should not stop these people from, voicing their opinion. It is their opinion. They feel that this person is the best or this person doesn't deserve to be in the team. So we want to convey that to the people, to the common people, that there are people who feel this way. And why do people feel this way? There must be some reason. Maybe it's a bias, maybe it's something that they've observed. Ultimately, we think that media is a way to convey information and to exchange ideas. And if anyone is free to voice their opinion, that there is no better way to do that than on a platform on the web where anyone can publish an article and then get to see the response that article gets or that opinion gets. Web journalism is very different from print journalism, as we all know. There are things that we have to expand on. We can't stick to the old rules. Obviously, there are certain basic principles like avoiding racism, avoiding sexism. But apart from that, we are very lenient with fanaticism. If someone says Sachin Tendulkar is God, we publish that because that's what the people feel. And a lot of times, people actually want to see that. There are other people, like if one person says Sachin Tendulkar is God, there are a million other people who will agree with that. And when they see that, they are happy. So, by giving people what they want, we're actually capturing their attention. We're telling them, okay, we give you things that you like to hear, so sometimes we'll also give you things that you don't like to hear. But ultimately, you will be informed about everything. So that's, I think, one of the areas where there's a lot of potential to, develop interest in not just cricket, but obviously other sports as well. We don't just stick to the traditional marketing avenues for marketing our articles. We use social media like Facebook and Twitter, which are really popular these days. So by doing that, we are able to reach out to a much wider audience and, more importantly, to an audience that could actually relate with what we are trying to say. A lot of people who stick to newspapers, they will not understand if someone writes an article lambasting, say, Rohit Sharma, because he says that is not professional journalism. But a person who is well versed with the internet would realize that those are the things that people are actually feeling. So if somebody is feeling that, there's no harm in publishing that, as long as you give a disclaimer that this is this person's opinion. So ultimately, I also believe that will lead to greater tolerance levels among all people regarding sports at least. So so this is such a wide, untapped market. All these sports that we don't have much information. Even badminton, for instance, there's so many positive things happening on the badminton front. Saina Nehwal winning a medal, and there's a PV Sindhu who recently defeated the Chinese number 2, the world number 2 rather. So and again, there's not that much information about badminton on the internet. If you go to see, there's a BWF site which has just the rudimentary information about every match. So although right now we don't have extensive coverage of badminton either, but we believe that by keeping it open to everyone, there will be some people who will have some information, some opinion to give about it. And another important thing that I would like to say here is that I don't think, while it may conflict with what Mr. Kalyan said, I don't think sports journalism, a degree in sports journalism is necessary for someone to be a good sports writer. There is creativity in everyone. There is an interest, a passion for sports in everyone. If someone has, I'm not saying that anyone can be a sports writer, but I'm saying that the lack of a degree is not an obstacle, and we'll overcome that. And you won't believe me, but I've actually seen articles on SportsKeeda written by complete strangers, which can actually rival the works of the biggest publishing houses in the country. They are such high quality articles written, such in-depth analysis that you actually wonder why are these people not pursuing their dream. The thing is though, for some people, as we said, it's a hobby, so they don't actually consider it seriously, but they have the talent in them. And our job is to showcase their talent, showcase their writing skills to the world. So I believe that that's a very important area where we can really capture a lot of the untapped talent in the country and all over the world, and showcase that to everyone else. And that's where we will be able to create a very wide platform where people will always be networking and always be exchanging information about their passion. And ultimately, that's what we want people to do.
Thanks, Masud, for this.